Hey everybody, this is Elizabeth with World's Cup of Joe. Awaken your soul. We get questions all the time from clients about if we can recommend any kind of good books or videos or movies that will help people with the journey. And so I have committed myself to start researching more books that can help people in not only their twin flame journey, but in their own spiritual growth and their spiritual ascension. So I was told about the book, The 4 Agreements by Don Miguel Ruiz. Right when I was in the middle of my dark night, I was in separation, and I remember someone told me, you should read this book. It's really gonna help you. And I was like, I didn't want to hear anything about my own spiritual self at that time. I only wanted to know, how do I get my person back? That's all I care about. How do I get my person back? So if you're recommending a book to me and it's not going to tell me how to get my person back, I'll read it later. So I bought the book fully intending to know at some point I will read it. And it has literally just sort of been sitting on my bookshelf. And it sort of spoke to me, and I was like, you know what, I'm going to read this and see if there's some valuable stuff that can help me explain to clients and to you guys how to help yourself in this journey. And lo and behold, this book is amazing. It's amazing. I so highly recommend it. And you'll see I have all my little tabs of important things for the book. I have important quotes, soul quotes. I love this. Interesting, how it applies to TF. So that's sort of how I organize this. So for this video, I'm only going to talk about how this book, some different little nuggets in it that I found specifically that could help someone in a twin flame journey. Obviously it wasn't written for that, but there is some valuable soul stuff in here that will help you. So with that being said, I will turn to some of my quotes that I think are valuable for you guys. So this first quote says, "How many times do we make our spouse, our children, or our parents pay for the same mistake? Every time we remember the mistake, we blame them again and send them all the emotional poison we feel at the injustice, and then we make them pay again for the same mistake." So how this applies to the twin flame connection, so freaking powerful. I have been guilty. I've been guilty of constantly going back to when my person left me and my dark night started. And there are triggers that come up, and it puts me back in that place where he left me with a note on the door and just moved out without me knowing. I came home to an empty house. So now that we are in a permanent relating experience, we're doing amazing. There are little tiny triggers or little things that come up that allow the mind to fear him doing that same thing again. And it's like every time I go back into that place, like this book is talking about, I bring with me all of the emotional poison, all that toxic energy, if you will, back into our current, present experiences together. I'm reliving in the mind that energy, and I am making him feel it over and over and over again too. Not just myself feel it, but I'm bringing that energy to him every time the mind keeps doing that. And it's the same mistake. How many times do I need to punish him with my energy for something that he did a long time ago that is no longer relevant in our present moment? And that's a really crucial thing. We need to let go of the past and the things we feel that our person did to wrong us in our mind. Otherwise, we are going to constantly bring the energy and make them pay for the same mistake over and over and over again. The same thing with us. We need to forgive ourselves for things we did. It's past. It's not soul. It's mind. So that was the first thing I found that I felt was really helpful. Another one. You are trapped in the dream of hell. What causes you to be trapped is what we call personal importance. Personal importance, or taking things personally, is the maximum expression of selfishness because we make the assumption that everything is about me. We think we are responsible for everything. Me, always me. Nothing other people do is because of you. So let me say, how does this apply to the twin flame? Because, you know, our energy does affect our person. So our energy will have effect on our person. But what stood out to me on this quote is that we obsess and think about our person 24/7, right? Especially in the throes of the addictive energy. And we project that because we are thinking about them constantly, that everything they're doing is a reflection about us. And it's not. They are living their life in the 3D. They are going through their own stuff. I'm going to say 99% of the time, my person's stuff has nothing to do with me, even though in my mind, did he say that because of blah, 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 blah? The mind creates these stories that everything they're doing is because of us. And that's this personal importance. We're making the story about ourselves when it has nothing to do with us. What they're doing, how they're responding, how they're acting, most of the times has nothing to do with us. Yes, our energy allows them to stay or go into our own space and our own energy, but what they're living and their experiences they're going through still are their experiences, and we need to drop the thought that everything has to do with us. That was the next quote. So let me give another one. When we really see other people as they are without taking it personally, we can never be hurt by what they say or do. Even if others lie to you, it's okay. They are lying to you because they are afraid. Before I went through separation, my person, I would catch him in these little lies. And it bothered me because I'm a very, very upfront and honest person. And I realized, and now looking back, he doesn't lie anymore because he doesn't fear it anymore. When I was in the addictive energy, he was always scared to tell me stuff because he knew at the drop of a hat, I could blow up on him. I could just lose it and get totally exaggeratingly angry for no reason. So he learned he needed to watch what he said and contort it, lie. And it's like, once you're in soul, once there's no judgment, no one needs to lie to you because they know that nothing they say is going to touch you. So if you don't take things personally, don't make it about yourself. Don't take it personally. There's nothing they need to fear in your response. It just is. And I know with my person now, there's nothing. He can tell me anything because there's no judgment, there's no expectation, there's no preference. It just is. And that's the type of presence we have together now. And that's the type of freedom he feels by me being in soul and why he can stay in my energy. Let me get one last one for you guys. We have the habit of dreaming with no basis in reality. We literally dream things up in our imaginations. Can you guys feel the twin flame throwback to this quote? We're constantly dreaming up scenarios in our mind. The mind is constantly creating stories and then ruminating on them, and they have no basis in reality. I talk to clients all the time that one thing will happen and they go from 0 to 100 as far as the stories go in a matter of 10 seconds. It's like the mind is constantly creating things that aren't real, and then we believe those stories because we identify as the mind and we associate ourselves with that, and we fall into the trap of those mind stories. So you've got to get to a place where when you see the mind creating something, you take a step back and you're like, that's just a story. That's not real. It didn't happen. The mind is creating that. The mind is assuming that. The mind is thinking that. But it's not real. Mind, you could do whatever you want, but I'm soul. And if it's not in my present moment, I'm letting it go. I'm letting it go. It's not in my present moment. Therefore, it's mind and I'm soul. Anyways, amazing book. I have a feeling that Joanne and I at some point will discuss so much good soul stuff in here, and I really want to discuss with her opinion on this book. But I really wanted to share the twin flame stuff, the little nuggets that I thought could help you in your own journey, because I just highly recommend this book. It's amazing. Anyways, love you guys. Hope this video has helped. If you guys have any recommendations, or if you want us to go over a book that you think might be helpful, let us know. Just put it in the comments below. Bye guys.